In the question, if it is credit, means in the answer also credit. But in case of balance sheet, debt means loan. If it is not recovered, that will be bad loan, bad debts. Now, which will come under profit and loss and which will come under balance sheet. So similarly, we have taken all the expenses. Along with that, we have to calculate depreciation also. Now, capital account comes under where? Yes, this will come under liability. Balance sheet, liability. Hello everyone, I am your Adarsh sir, lecturing Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Now, we are in the fourth session of your financial statement 2. Now, as I told you, this is your 12 marks problem. For your 12 marks problem, you need to prepare trading account, profit and loss account. Finally, you have to end up with balance sheet. And that balance sheet has to be get tallied. Now, so whatever problems we are doing now, all problems are your exam oriented. Exam oriented means we have taken problems from your previous year question papers. Your past question papers we are solving in today's session. This will be your trial balance or question. From the following trial balance, prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2016 and the balance sheet as on that date. Now, so these are the informations you have. In the first 3 sessions, I explained you which will come under trading account, which will come under profit and loss, and which will come under balance sheet. Before we start our problem, first we'll classify which is trading, P&L and balance sheet. Now, you have capital. As I told you, if it is debit side, it should be what? It should be asset side of your balance sheet. If it is debit side, it should be asset side of your balance sheet. If it is credit side, it should be liability. Remember this. If the amount is in debit side, it belongs to assets. If the amounts are in credit side, it belongs to liability. Your balance sheet is over. Other than balance sheet, what do you have? Yes, you have trading as well as profit and loss account. Now, if it is debit side, in your trading and P&L, it will come under debit side only. This will come under credit side. So, hope you know all this. Why? Because I have already explained you. If you have not watched my session 1, session 2, session 3, please go back, check those videos. Why? Because individual concept I will not explain you here. Why? Because it will be a repetition for you. Go back to your past 3 videos. In that, in detail, I have explained which is trading, which is profit and loss, as well as which is balance sheet. Now, capital account comes under where? Yes, this will come under liability. Balance sheet, liability. Drawings comes under balance sheet, liability. But in liability, we will minus. Purchase and sales. This will be trading account, debit side. This will be trading account, credit side. Now, opening stock. Where opening stock comes? Trading account, debit side. Your returns. If it is debit side means it will be sales return. So, you have to minus from sales. This will be minus from purchase. Now, once if it is done, wages. Wages will come where? Trading account, debit side. Now, building is a fixed asset. It will come under balance sheet asset. As I told you, whatever debit items comes under asset side. Now, Freight charges, trading account, debit side. In your examination, you are not supposed to mark all this. Until you learn in your notes, you have to follow this method. If you do 7 to 8 problems, no need to do all this marking. You will be familiar with which item comes under what. But until you learn, please have practice of marking which will come where. Now, next, your trade expenses, profit and loss account, debit side. Advertisement, profit and loss account, debit side. Interest, if it is credit side, profit and loss account, credit side. Next, tax and insurance, debit side. So, profit and loss account, debit side. Debtors and creditors. As you know, debtors and creditors are balance sheet items. Now, this will be balance sheet asset. This will be balance sheet liability. Remember this. Next, bills receivable, bills payable. Similar. Balance sheet asset, balance sheet liability. So every problem you will get same kind of items so that it is easy to calculate in every problem. Next, cash at bank, balance sheet asset. Next, cash in hand, balance sheet asset. Salaries, it is an expenditure, so it will come under profit and loss account, debit side. The first thing what you have to do, take your question, mark there itself what comes under what. You have trading account, P&L, balance sheet. Whether this will come under trading or balance sheet or P&L, you have to mark. If it is trading, P&L and balance sheet, whether it will come under debit or credit. The easiest thing is, in case of trading and P&L, in the question if it is in debit means answer also debit. In the question if it is credit means in the answer also credit. But in case of balance sheet, if the question is in debit, in the balance sheet it will be what? Asset. If the question is in credit, in the balance sheet it should be liability. Clear? The first thing what you have to do, you have to mark everything. Once if it is done, you have adjustment on that. So what are the adjustment? You have stock on 31st was valued. In the adjustment they have given stock means what is that? That is closing stock. Remember, this will be closing stock. In the adjustment, if you have any information about stock means that is closing stock. Now, insurance prepaid. If it is prepaid means what? From insurance you have to minus. Outstanding salary. As I told you, if it is a prepaid, minus. If it is outstanding, add. Depreciation building. So depreciation means from building you have to minus. Provide PDD. What is PDD? It is nothing but provision for doubtful debts. Again I will repeat, provision for doubtful debts. What do you mean by provision for doubtful debts? Now, I have given you 10,000 rupees. You have to pay me back after 1 month. But 1 year happened, you did not pay me that 1,000 rupees. What I can do? I can call it as bad debts. Clear? What I can call that amount? Bad debts. Why? Because whatever amount I have given to you, that is not returned. So that is nothing but bad debt. Debt means loan. If it is not recovered, that will be bad loan, bad debts. Now, so if there is a bad debts, I have to keep some reserve or provisions. So whatever losses is happening, for that I have to keep some money. That money we call it as provision for bad debts. Whatever losses occurs, for that you have to reserve some money. That reserve we call it as provision for bad debts. Now, these are the adjustments you have. Now we'll go with the answer. This will be your answer. Remember, all the answers I have not given heading. Why? Because in the class, we will write the heading so that you will remember heading is must. What is the first thing? You have started with trading account. You have to mention trading and profit and loss account for the year. So I'll go back to your question. So this is on what? 31st March 2016. For the year ending 31st March 2016. This is the first thing. Before you start your answer, the heading is must. Once the heading is done, you have to write this must be debit and this must be credit. Your debit side we call it as debit and credit side you call it as credit. Now, your heading will be, you can take it particular amount or expenses amount, revenue amount. Better go for particular amount. So instead of expenses, you can also write particular. Here also you can write particular. Now, so this is the first thing you have to do. Once if it is done, we'll start with the problem. Now, so these are the trading account what we are seeing now. So always remember this is must. This one is must. If you are writing anything in the debit side means you have to mention 2. If anything in the credit side, you should write by and by. This is compulsory. Intentionally, I have not given 2 and by. Why? Because in class, we will write 1 so that you will remember. Now, so we'll go back to your question. See, what are the trading account we have? Purchases and sales we have. And we have opening stock also. And we have sales also. Is there any trading activity? Yes, we have freight charges and we have wages. All trading activities will come under your answer. So keep your question along with your answer so that you will understand which are the items we have taken under trading account. Now, see, we have taken opening stock, purchases minus return. So your answer is 8,450. Wages 800. Freight charges 2,000. Any doubt up to this? You have to keep your question so that you will understand which are the things we have taken. Now come to credit side. Sales minus return. This will be 14,720. How come you got 280? I'll explain you. What is your sales? The sales is 15,000. What is your sales? 15,000. Sales return. How much is your return? You have return. As I told you, this one is your sales return. From 15,000, we have deducted how much? 280. 15,000 minus 280, it will be 14,720. See, we have done 15,000 minus 280, it is 14,720. Every problem, you will get same kind of adjustments. Now, closing stock, where do you get? You will get always from adjustment. See your adjustment. Stock on 31st March. How much you have? 10,000. Now, you have taken 10,000. You have to see which side is more. Your credit side is more. 14 plus 10, you will get 24,720. Similarly, 24,720 minus all this, you will get 12,270. That will be what? Gross profit. Clear? So while doing, please keep that question paper so that you will understand better. This is all about your trading account. Step 1. Once trading account is done, what is the second one? Profit and loss account. This will be profit and loss account. So please take screenshot of this so that you will understand which are the items we have taken. Now, the second thing will be your profit and loss account. Now, under profit and loss account, what do we take? Now, in this, all the expenses will be debit side, all the incomes will be credit side. Remember, before that, what you should do? You should mention this is 2. For one thing, if you write 2, then same thing you can copy. This side, what you should write? It must be by. Clear? And the heading can be particular, or else if you want, you can write expenses amount, revenue amount. Better go for particular amount. Now, what are the expenses we have? I'll go back to your question. See, wherever you have P&L, then we have P&L. Here also P&L. Then yes, which are the P&L we have? We have trade expenses, advertisement, interest, tax and insurance. Then we have salaries. Same thing only will consider under P&L account. Now, in this, you have salaries. We have added 200. Why you have added 200? Why? Because in the adjustment, outstanding salary is 200. Add and consider. So, we have added, so it will be 1000. Trade expenses, no adjustment, take directly 200. Advertisement, no adjustment, take directly, it is 240. Tax and insurance, 430 minus 100. Why it is minus? As I told you, outstanding means add. If it is prepaid, minus. 430 minus 100, it is 330. Unless you keep your question, you will not understand this. Please keep that question, then you match one by one, whether we have taken or not. Once if you have taken, example, this is what tax and insurance. How much you have? Tax and insurance, it is nothing but 430. Go back to your question. Tax and insurance. Your tax and insurance is 430. You have taken. Just write tick mark so that you have to write one by one. For example, advertisement, it is taken. Trade expenses, we have taken. So if you do this round mark, so that at the end, you will get to know whether we have taken or not. Clear? Yes. Now, so similarly, we have taken all the expenses. Along with that, we have to calculate depreciation also. Now, as per the adjustment, depreciate building 5%, and yeah, we have only one depreciation. And for debtors, what is the percentage? 5%. I'll go back to your question. Building is how much? 22. On that, what is the percentage? 5%. See, your building we have 22,000 into 5%, you got 1,100. I'll go back to your debtors. Your debtors is how much? Yes, your debtors is 6,500. On that, what is the percentage? 5%. Now, your debtors, how much you have? 6,500. On that 5%, it will be 325. Go back to your question. Find the debtors. Calculate 5%. Only that 5% value we have to write. Clear? Yes. Now, your credit side, gross profit 12,270. How did you get? I'll go back to your trading account. In the trading account, gross profit how much? 12,270. This will be copied to your P&L. Your gross profit brought down is 12,270. Now, interest. It is given in the question. Your interest is how much? 250. Now, so I have taken interest 650. Say your interest is how much? 650. Now, once if it is done, you have to check your total. It is 12,920. 12,920. How come you got 12,920? The total of credit side, right side is more. The higher value should be written both the sides. 12,920 minus all this. Minus all this, you will get 9,725. What is that? Yes, that will be your net profit transfer to capital account. Remember, whatever items you write here, write along with the word to. Whatever items you write on the credit side, write along with by. Before that, what you should do? On the top, it should be debit and it should be credit. Clear? This is all about your profit and loss account. Just take a screenshot of this. So no need to take screenshot. Better work out once. Now, the last part will be your balance sheet. Now, so I'm not going in detail. Why? Because in the first 3 sessions, we have gone in detail. Now, just I'm explaining how to write or how to copy the items. Now, balance sheet format, you know. I'll go back to your question. We already marked few things as a balance sheet item. Which are those? Now, see, your capital is balance sheet. Your drawings are balance sheet. Then you have written with building. Building is from balance sheet. Your building is from balance sheet. Freight, trade, advertisement, tax, debtors and creditors are balance sheet. You have to identify which are the items comes under balance sheet. Then bills receivable and payable, balance sheet. Cash at bank, balance sheet. Cash in hand, balance sheet. Salary, it is P&L. Clear? Yes. We will take only balance sheet item and we write there. So these are your balance sheet. Building, you have 22,000. We have depreciation 1,100. It is already calculated. I'll go back. See, your building depreciation is how much? 1,100. We have to minus. As I told you, whatever comes under adjustment, it is to effect. Now, once the depreciation you have taken here, again we will take it in balance sheet. So building is done. Your data 6,500 minus 325. How come it is 325? See your P&L, PDD, provision for doubtful debts. It is how much? 325. So this one is done. Your cash at bank, no adjustment. Bills receivable, no adjustment. Cash in hand, no adjustment. Closing stock, where do you get? Yes, it is from adjustment. See your closing stock. Yeah, first one, it is 10,000. Your 2 effects are over. Now it is how much? 10,000. Your closing stock is 10,000. Now, insurance prepaid, as I told you, if there are any prepaids are there, it will come under asset. Any outstandings? Yes, it will come under liability. Now, as per the adjustment, you have insurance prepaid 100, outstanding salary 200. Insurance prepaid 100, outstanding salary it is 200. Remember, first you have to write capital, later you can write anything in any order. Now, capital is how much? It is 30,000. I'll go back to your question. Your capital is how much? It is 30,000. What is your drawings? Drawings is 1,760. What is your net profit? 9,725. Remember these 3 numbers. Capital 30,000. Drawings how much? Sorry, before that we have taken net profit 9,725. You got 39,725. From that, minus drawing 1760, you got 37,965. Once if it is done, your creditors as it is, bills payable as it is. Clear? This is a method of doing your final accounts. Every problem you will find same kind of adjustment, but you have to remember which item comes under trading, P&L, balance sheet. If you know that it is an easy task, just fill up the blanks. Now, the total is how much? 40,065. 40,065. Remember, your balance sheet must get tallied, and we will not write 2R by for this. Why? Because there is a capital nature. If it is a capital nature, we will not consider 2R by. So this is all about our today's session. We have done final accounts. So it is a little lengthy, but for your examination purpose, if you learn this thoroughly, easily you can score 12 marks. So I'll end this session with the saying that learn concept and earn marks.